Ay, 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 ay. Look. Baby girl love my vibe and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so why I need you? Baby girl love my vibe and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so why I need you? Big flex, my swole up. Double cup and I'm pulled up. Niggas hating like hold up. Big flex, my swole up.
I know what you're thinking. The Jeep's not on the tracks, so that can only mean one thing: it's broken. If that is anything further from the truth, the car is going suspiciously well, and I'm very scared. Now, first off, let's get celebrations out of the way. Thank you for 100 subscribers. It means a lot. I know it's not a massive milestone, but going from 1 sub, which is my little brother, to 100 subs, it means a lot. That means there's 99 other people out there that actually enjoy watching my videos. It encourages me to keep making videos for you guys. So if you like my content, please consider subscribing. But yeah, let's get back into it. Now, this wasn't the video that I planned on filming. I wanted to film another shed video of me pulling apart the car, doing some driveline upgrades, you know, bolting on the new front end because someone ran into a tree. Well, it appears that I've done more than a bumper. I've done a guard. Whoopsie. And like, it was every time I got home from after work, it was rainy. Being on a tin roof, it was really loud. All the salvageable content was just time lapses, so I didn't think it was the best quality. So now I'm standing in front of a fully assembled Jeep, and I'm going to talk about it today, talk about me, talk about why I decided to build this, and just basically going through everything that makes this Jeep. So buckle up, this is how to build a TJ Aussie style.
Fuck with your boy, I'm the man of the year. I'm not a fan of your peers. Serve him a fate, I'ma hand him the shears. He not the man
Okay,
of your
I think
peers.
it's only fair to start with why I'm standing in front of the Jeep and what side of my love affection with full driving. So, growing up, I always thought full drives were dumb, big, expensive. Why would you waste money on a car that can better do the speed limit? So my first car was a BA Falcon, loved it. When I was 17, like later on in the year, I discovered American full driving, King of the Hammers, to how they build cars over there, like their Tacomas, Jeeps, and like the Land Cruisers, the 80 series they've got over there. And I was like, wow, they've got the same cars as us, but they've just taken it to the next level. So I started looking at, I never really resonated with patrols or Land Cruisers, you know, like personally, as I would own one, because I think I've seen too many of them that it's just, I don't know, I felt like they were overdone. I wanted something a bit different. So I started looking at niche markets like Range Rovers, Discoveries, and XJs, and it wasn't until one day that I found this XJ for sale, and it was for a really good price, had some good mods on it, and I was just like, yep, this is the one. So same day, went there, picked it up. I hid it for my parents for 2 days, and then, you know, drove it home, and it was like, surprise, I bought a car, and they weren't happy at all. But I love this XJ. We went full driving, probably one of the first trips that I took it out. My mate Brody, he just yelled out, it's Sean the Jeep. So the name Sean really stuck, and Sean was my first full drive. The time that I had with Sean was very short. It was only probably about 8 months I had the car for, but it was a good 8 months. But being young and not really knowing what I was doing, I just sort of threw mods at it. Spent a lot of money on just the wrong sort of stuff. Like, looking back at it, was really a bad decision. I put the biggest shocks I could fit in possibly, so I had 0 up travel. I didn't extend bump stops, like mashing shocks all day. Bought really cheap parts, lifted it without a slip yoke eliminator, so I was getting driveline vibrations. I was really scared of the Dana 35 snapping an axle and yeeting a tyre going down the road. So instead of fixing my mistakes, I decided to try and palm the car off to some unsuspecting buyer, which is totally wrong with me. And looking back, I really should have just kept the car and built it right and fixed up my mistakes. But instead, I put up for sale on Facebook Marketplace. The XJ market here in Australia is really small. That's why I bought mine for cheap for what it was. I couldn't sell it. This TJ popped up was up for sale for a very long time. And I was like, all right, would you be willing to swap? So just between us, I really shouldn't have swapped the XJ for this, because this is a bucket of crap. It still is a bucket of crap. It is just a pig with lipstick on. When I got the TJ, it was an absolute wreck. It is not like how it looks today. I pulled it all apart, and with the help of Dad's mate, I prepped it, we resprayed it, and it looks immaculate. It was really beautiful when we were finished. That didn't last long. It slowly evolved into what this is now, over a year or so of driving the car and doing modifications to it. And now it is pinstripe, dented, and mismatched panels. So it's really upsetting because we put a lot of time into the car, but this is what I built it for. Whatever damage I've done is like driving into a tree. That sucks, but it's the game you play. All right, now that is enough of me talking about me and the car, and let's break this build down. Let's get into the mods. So probably the first thing you'll notice about the car when you look at it is the wheel and tyre combination. I've got a Mickey Thompson rim wrapped in a 32-inch Henk Dynapro. I think they really set the car off. It's not a massive tyre, but it does the job. They've done everything I've needed them to do, so no complaints in that department. Right, before we get into chips and gravy of this build, I'll make something abundantly clear. This is not game changing. This has all been done before. I'm not claiming to be the greatest. This is the greatest TJ build. This is just my combination of parts that works for me, and it's handling everything that I've thrown at it so far. So first up, the VR Evo Worn winch. This thing, it has pulled me out of some crazy spots. I love it. Free spools like butter, and it does everything I ask. It's bolted down to just an Amazon winch plate, also bolted into a custom bar that I've made. I really like the longer, older style of bars. I don't like the off-road bars that come up, and they're like, I like the tube bars, but just not like the ARB bars, stuff like that. I like the old school ones. And then I've also notched it on the sides, so it's modular. I'm also running LED headlights paired with these 7-inch flares, give it that wide stance look to cover the tires. Love it. All right, let's look at the front suspension. So suspension and axle work, I'm sitting on a 3-inch Skyjacker coil paired with Ranchero shocks and upper and lower control arms. I'm still running short arms. I don't really see the benefit of my car right now on mid arms or a long arm. Probably down the track maybe, but right now the short arms are holding up to everything I'm doing. The day that they don't is the day that I'll go to long arms or mid arms. Accompanied with extended brake lines and bump stops, account for a bigger shock, more droop, and all that sort of stuff. Steering setup, I'm running a road safe Panhard. You have to buy a right hand drive one because the left and right hand drive one's different. ZJ V8 tie rod end. They're a lot thicker than the factory TJ and XJ ones. They bolt straight in. They're slightly higher. They're not as strong as going like an over the knuckle setup or like a high steer setup, but it's a cheap and effective way of getting some extra strength out of your tie rod and not bending them, because trust me, I know they bend really easy. I've also got a Ranchero steering dampener in there. The old factory one was flogged. Now, diff work, I've got a worn diff cover just to protect the pumpkin from any, rocks that want to come up and, open up my diff. Inside the diff, I'm running 4/5/6 ratios. They pair well with the 32s and the 6-speed. They'd probably be a lot more suited for a 33 or 35s, but right now they do the job. One day I might go to a bigger tire. I've just got it so I've got some leeway. Inside the diff as well, I'm running a Spartan auto locker. Most people hear auto locker and roll their eyes. I think that's how I felt originally. I put it in, and honestly, I don't think I'll ever put in an e-lock or an air locker. The day that this auto locker dies, I'll put another one in because it's just so great. I don't even notice on the road. You can hear a slight click if you really listen on tight cornering, but other than that, no complaints about it. When you put it into four-wheel drive, it's either going to work or it doesn't work, and the day it doesn't work is the day you got to replace it. Cheap, effective, and a good solution for getting extra traction. Moving outwards of the diff, I'm running ZJ CVs. I've gone away from the standard universal axles. I find that, when they snap, you pop off a lower ball joint, or they're so strong, chew your diff center. So it's just a bit of extra fusible link, and I've put these CVs through a lot so far, like my kind of driving, and they've held up really well. First time I took the CVs out, I was like, they're either going to be really good or really shit, and they're really good, and I haven't snapped one yet, so cheering. Plus, I always carry extra axle shafts wherever I go. They're super easy to change, caliper off, disc out, 3 bolts, axle shaft out, new one in. I'd much rather change an axle shaft on the side of this track than trying to, a diff center. I think that sums up the front. This is also just a low pinion. I've got a high pinion Dana 30 in the garage that I've been wanting to build for a long time. I want to sleeve it, truss it, gusset it, do all that sort of stuff. Just so, bulletproof this front axle setup a little bit more. This goes with pretty much all of the bar work that I've done on the car. I found designs of them and measurements of them online, and then just copied the measurements and made them myself. So a set of these brand new, you're looking at roughly probably around, I've seen them 400, 600, and even ARB ones are like $900. I made these for about $200, 4mm bent. I've gone these instead of your conventional rock sliders because my seal is actually a lot thicker than your conventional ones. I'll show you my dad's nav. The car's seal is only that thick, where mine is probably about that thick. So I just want to protect it all from rocks. Moving to the back of the car. So I'm running a slip yoke eliminator with a drive shaftless suit. This is one of those mods you got to sort of do with all these older Jeeps. There's ways around it, but a slip yoke is the best way to do it. Suspension work, I'm running factory JK rear coils that have just been trimmed a tiny bit to make them fit. Factory JK rear shocks. So altogether, it gives it about a 2-inch lift, and it's a little bit more load rated because the JKs are heavier. So when I load this up to go touring and go camping for a longer period of time where it's really stacked in there, it maintains its height and it's a lot more comfortable than running TJ coils. I bought that spring and shock combo for like $20, so it works, it does the job. I'm running extended sway bar links, Ranchero upper and lower control arms paired with a Ranchero panard. It's not the most flexible setup in the world, but it does the job. Inside the diff, I'm running 4-5-6 gear ratios to suit the front, a MIG locker, and that basically sums up the whole rear setup. Now, rear bar setup. This is also a custom bar that I've made. It is not the fanciest looking thing. It's just a bit of, I think it was like 100mm long, and I've just chopped it down, put little angle bits on the end. Yeah, just to give me more ground clearance because I was getting hung up on everything when the car was a lot lower. Now it's still, as you can see, it is battered and bruised. It does hit the ground. This is a really low car. GME aerial, light fox, reverse lights, and yeah, it's just a basic, really slimline, high clearance rear bumper. Moving into the interior of the TJ. Now these things aren't the most spacious interior, so you really got to be conscious of how you're going to build your interior to suit what you're going to do. So running a Rampage roof. Most of the time the roof is off because I do enjoy it, but we're moving into the colder months now, so I thought I might as well throw the roof on. Big mistake, it's still really hot. Running no radio, I've just got a JBL speaker, GME, UHF, let me talk to my friends. Nice pockets up here. What else we got? That's about it for the front. Let's move into the actual rear setup. Now this is quite possibly my favorite part of the car. So this tub rack, a mate of mine helped me fab this up, utilizes your factory hard lid mounts. Square tubing across, sits completely flush with the top of the tub so you don't even notice it's there. Spare tire up here, carry bag up here which has got all my spare parts. When it's up, don't even notice it. Fridge up here, swag on top of the spare tire. As stated before, I always carry spare axle shafts with me. They're just zip tied to the top of the tub rack. Second battery in there to power the fridge, DC-DC charger. And then just all of this extra space gets filled up with cooking gear, recovery gear, spare parts, tools, and everything else that I need, fuel. Just this whole car is about utilizing space, and I think that I've sort of got it down pat on where everything needs to go to get as much into this car as I need to. Moving underneath the car, I've got, Light Fox work lights as my rock lights. I just hooked up to a steady switch system. $20, the whole system cost me altogether, so It does the job. It doesn't put out as much light as, you know, some of the other setups that I've seen, but it works. Like the whole car, it just works. Not efficiently, but it works.
I'm trampling fears. I love the man in the mirror. Cry me a river to stand in the tears. You better stand in the clear. I'm going crazy, niggas fugazi. How would they ever go fuck with a kid? Put it on, baby. You do not phase me.
That
Boy, I do
basically
not.
sums up everything on the TJ. I might have missed some minor modifications, but that basically sums up everything. So I guess the next question is, what's next for the TJ? What's next for me? Honestly, I just need to drive it more, find limitations myself, find limitations for the car. I'm only 19, so I'm trying my best, and it's getting there slowly. I don't have an unlimited budget, so just to go out there, enjoy the car, enjoy myself. Let's go out there and enjoy some tracks. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, learning about what I've done to the TJ, and you might be able to apply something that I've said in this video to your build. And like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
In a bundle of hundreds, I'm jiggy, I'm flexing the beat. Figured I hit it and quit it, I'm busy, I ain't got the minutes for texting the bitch. Came from the gutter with me and my brother, I'm moving my mother